Good day, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about Module 7, I Decide, I Learn. Learning objectives. At the end of this module, you are expected to, number one, identify steps and making sounds decision. Number two, construct your own appropriate steps to make a sound decision. Number three, analyze possible outcome and making decision for common good, and value the importance of being responsible and making personal decisions. Making choices is one of the basic things you do every day. You make choices everywhere, at home, in school, and in the community. You as a person need to decide and choose the right and best choice in life and career. But somehow, it is hard to decide on your own because there are different factors that influence your decision. In this module, try to appreciate the role of your teachers, parents, and other significant persons in your life in identifying the different steps and decision making. For the offline activities, think what kind of decision maker you are. Do you decide based on your feelings, or you take enough time to think about it first? Are you someone who asks opinions of others like your parents, siblings, friends, and trusted adults? And next, think of 2 or 3 personal experiences that support your thought. After 10 minutes, face the mirror and tell what kind of decision maker you are. And then, tell why you should maintain or change your ways of deciding. After the activity, answer the following questions on the sheets of paper. Processing questions. Number 1, how do you feel about your answer and why? And number 2, based on your answers in the activity, how do you make decisions? And number 3, why do you need to be aware on how you make decisions? Will it help you in your future situations? So let's have another set of activities. We're ready? Help Betty by identifying her problem and providing as many as possible helpful solutions as you can. Use the given template as your guide. So this is the situation. Help Betty. Betty is having hard time thinking how she can still continue her studies now that their family is facing a health crisis. Her mother tested positive for COVID-19 and has a diabetes, while her father could not even work since his employer retrenched him. She cannot focus anymore in her lessons as she worried about their situations. So let's now help Betty, and these are the format. You give a lot of solutions for that problem for Betty. Okay, I hope you copied this one already. And for the processing questions, how do you rank your suggested solutions and why? And number 2, what are the advantages and disadvantages of your top suggested solution? And number 3, is it something worth pursuing and why? Okay, I hope you copied all the questions. Let's now proceed with our discussion. Keep in mind, every day you use your decision-making skills on the things you are about to do or choose. Making decisions is making choices or not choosing at all. Deciding on your own may be very difficult at your age. Children like you need guidance from parents, guardians, or older siblings in making decisions. People have experience making good and bad decisions, and it is helpful to learn from it and move on. According to Theodore Roosevelt, in many moment of decision, or in any moment of decision, the best thing that you could do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. And another, for Mark Twain, good decision come from experience, and experience comes from making bad decisions. There are factors that influence the decision-making processes of adolescents. Like, for example, your peer, or your friends, our environment, and of course, part of it also, the knowledge and skills to decide. So here are the process that if you're going to use your thinking skills, your knowledge, comprehension, applications, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And of course, part of it is your beliefs and culture. So these are the factors that influence the decision-making processes of adolescents. Especially right now, a lot of engagement in the social media and other activities. And some studies, the psychological and social factor, most of the time, have a great effect on the decisions of adolescents like you. There are 5 basic steps in making decision. Number 1, define the problem. You should identify, define, explore, action, and look back. So these are the process. And of course, in your problem, you can ask why, who, what, how, when, whom, and which. So the first thing that you could do first is define the problem. Number 2, gather information about the issue or problem. We should know more information about our questions from. It could be from internet, books, other people like your teacher or mother, or other person who are involved in that particular thing. Number 3, know your options. And deciding or creating a decision making, you should have a lot of options. Not just only one. And the 3 C's of life, we have the choices, chances, changes. You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change. Again, remember the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. And for the number 4, weigh the pros and cons of each options. There's always a positive and negative in our decision making. And number 5, take the courage to decide and act on it. There's always a process on how to process our success. It always starts from think, analysis, planning, try, do it again, and keep doing until you meet your success. And according to Steve Jobs, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. And of course, don't give up. If the issue or problem is not solved, go back to your step number 1 and follow the other steps again until you succeed. Okay? So the number 1 is, for the recap, define the problem, gather the information about the issue, Know your options. Weigh the pros and cons of each options. Take a courage to decide and act on it. And always remember that you are a work in progress. If you fail, the only way up is to stand and try again. Take your failures as opportunities to become better. As American inventor Thomas Alva Edison said, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Okay, he is one of the inventor. And for your assignment, you can do it. Think of the past or present problem that you are comfortable to share with your homeroom guidance teacher and try to apply the 5 basic steps in making decision. Do this on Canva. It should be creative. Number 1, define the problem, gather the information about the issue or problem, know your options, weigh the pros and cons of each options, take the courage to decide. And next one is you're going to create a letter. Dear self. Make a letter to yourself about your decisions in the past months. Include how you feel about it and things that you would try to change to improve your decision-making skills. Do this on Canva and send to our messenger or in a Google Classroom. So these are the references. I hope you learned something today about I decide and I learn. You should follow the process and decide properly. Thank you for listening. Bye.